Hi, everyone. Welcome to our CSLIT election. Thank you for coming to our General Assembly monthly meeting. And today's meeting is very important because we have all 8 candidates that will be saying their speech, letting you know why they are the best person for the job as student trustee. And you will be able to vote who you think should represent the thousands of students in the TCDSB. So we're just going to wait for some people to log on. The chat box has now been turned on. Rebecca, how you doing? Missed your girl, haven't seen you in a long time. If you want to participate in the chat box, let me just give you some instructions. So you got to log in with your Google account. I am not sure if your TCDSB Google account works, but make sure to log in with your personal Google account. And then because we are using YouTube Live, you need to open a YouTube account or YouTube channel, and that'll give you access to the chat box. So just want to say hi to Rebecca, hi to Joseph, hi to Selena. Hello, Amanda. Kim Nguyen, are you related to Kathy? Pinky, oh, Pinky. We have seen you at like every single meeting. Thank you for your support of Catholic student leadership. Joseph, you too. We see you all the time. It looks like Amanda is pumping up Marcos's tires. Carl, did we get you your pizza yet? If not, Carl, make sure to message us. And I know you want a pizza. We want to make sure that you got your pizza. Speaking about pizza, at the end of the election today, we'll be having a game, and you can win a pizza delivered to your doorstep. Large pizza, 3 toppings delivered to your doorstep. So make sure to stay tuned for our game, which is going to be happening after our election. And we have Norm with us, Trustee Norm DiPasquale. Thank you for joining us again. Miss Lenzo, how are you? Dongha. We have Mr. Kakamo. So thank you, everyone, for joining in. In order for our election to meet quorum, we need at least 17 schools represented. So that is the goal, at least, and George is there too. So without further ado, I will introduce to you your 2 student trustees who will host the rest of the meeting. Please give a warm welcome to Taylor and Kathy.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, everyone.
So welcome to our May GA and our student trustee election. This is a very exciting and fun time.
Mm-hmm. A big warm welcome to everyone who's joining us, whether you're a student, a teacher, or a staff member, or even a family member of one of the candidates. I heard there are some family members tuning in from other countries to watch. We thank all of you for taking the time to watch these speeches and join us for this really important day. Thank you as well for recognizing the importance of our democratic process. This is a really great chance for you to share your voice and help choose who will represent you if you are a student who's voting.
Yeah, so we're voting in our student trustee for the 2020 to 2022 term. So they will be my partner next year because Taylor's leaving.
Yeah, unfortunately. I will be going off to university, but I'm super excited to see who we choose today as the next student trustee.
So we're going to start off with a CSLIT classic, Waving Flag. So if everyone could join us, I'm just going to play the audio from my phone.
I'm gonna join you, girl. But I have to watch Cassie because I'm not sure if I memorize all the moves.
Forever young. Underneath the sun.
Underneath the sun.
Beautiful game.
Beautiful day. I don't think this part's supposed to be hula. I talked to Greg, and we're supposed to be waving a flag.
Oh.
Oh my goodness.
I'm doing the. Oh.
Yeah, we're gonna try to match up with you, Nat.
For all those watching, you're
No.
to join in.
Forever young. Underneath the sun.
Underneath the sun.
Beautiful day.
We are waving the flag, not hula. One more time.
One more.
Somehow my Lynn always gets away with not dancing.
She just records for us. She's our PR.
Great
So
job.
thank you everyone for dancing with us. You know, it's always a fun time when everyone else dances too.
All right, so on to the next part. We're going to do a quick overview of the agenda that we have set up. We're going to start off as we normally do in opening prayer. Then we're going to have the student trustee candidates join us. They'll do their speeches. There will also be a chance after each speech for each candidate to answer some questions. So we sent out 5 questions to them ahead of time. And so they'll get to do speech and questions. Then there will be a voting video and instructions. The game that we have planned, so possibility to win a pizza, and then closing off with CSLIT information and updates.
Yep. So that's the agenda for today. It's pretty simple and straightforward. So we're going to call back Jeanette for land acknowledgement and prayer.
Out of our deep respect for Indigenous peoples in Canada, we acknowledge that all Toronto Catholic District School Board properties are situated upon traditional territories. The territories include the Wendat, the Anishinaabe Nation, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, and the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. We also recognize the contributions and enduring presence of all First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people in Ontario and the rest of Canada. Let us all sign ourselves in the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. Most compassionate Father, when a woman who was bleeding for 12 years approached you, you made her well. When you saw a crippled man, you healed him to walk and go home. When 10 men with leprosy came toward you, you had pity and healed each and every one of them. When a blind man could not see, you smeared mud on his eyes so he could see again. Your Son, Jesus Christ, became one of us and had compassion from our pain. In times when we face adversity, remind us that you love us always. Teach us to forgive and understand others and have a compassionate heart like you. Now I ask all of you to please join me in saying the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. All saints, pray for us. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you, Jeanette. Whoopsies. So we're going to start straight away with our student trustee candidates. We're going to be calling them up, have them like introduce themselves quickly, and then start on their speech. They have exactly 4 minutes, and then followed by that, they have a couple questions that they have to answer.
Mm-hmm. And then, yeah, so there are going to be 5 questions in total. And for that one, the time limit is 45 seconds per question. So Kathy and I will be taking turns to make sure that they stay on time. So now we will get on to what you've all been waiting for, the speeches and the candidates.
Awesome. So for those of you watching, we have all 8 candidates waiting in our virtual waiting room. They're actually on a Zoom call all together, giving people encouragement, giving each other tips. So at this point, we're going to ask the first 2 candidates. So Mylin, if you can please send over the first 2 candidates to the waiting room, and we will show you while we're waiting. Kathy and Taylor, can you just show them the questions that every single candidate will have to answer? And the reason why every single candidate is answering the same questions is so you could best compare who you think should best represent you. So let's go through those questions, Kathy and Taylor.
So question number 1 is, have you ever been involved with eSLIT or CSLIT? And then if yes, describe your experiences, because like a part of being a student trustee is chairing, of course, CSLIT and helping like out with eSLIT if they need it, and like student leadership as a whole with our board. Taylor?
Oh, sorry, I disconnected for a second there. Can you hear me though?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. Sorry about that. Question number 2, the board is currently developing the budget for the upcoming year, and certain things may need to be cut. If you could choose only one, which one would you save? And then we have the options displayed there. So religion, health, physical education, math, science, special education, and student leadership.
Question number 3, given the current COVID-19 situation, students have had to transition to distance/online learning. What is your stance on e-learning?
Question number 4, if elected, what's one thing you want to change about the school board, and how do you plan on changing it?
And our final question is, why do you think you're the best candidate as student trustee?
Awesome. So those are the questions that we're going to ask each of the candidates, and I'm going to call up our first candidate now.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
So do I start my speech? Sorry.
Yeah,
if you
so
want
I'm
just like name and
going
school.
to have the timer.
Okay, yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Okay.
3. Okay. 3,
Okay.
2, 1.
Hello. I'd like to thank all the voters today in meeting here on this live stream. And yeah, okay. In these uncertain times, we strive to find stability and safety. We are facing more problems than ever before. As leaders of our community, whether it be your school, your church, or your neighborhood, we must stay strong and lead our communities to success. Our daily lives have drastically changed, and this may be the new normal. Many important events will be missed. Field trips, events, and graduation ceremonies will be missed by us and our fellow students. And we will encounter more problems along the way. But that shouldn't stop pursuing our dreams. I believe it is our duty to pursue our dreams. Thank you. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you so much. All right, so now we will be moving on to the questions portion. I believe we'll have Kathy timing it again, and then I'll read out the questions.
Okay, so 3, 2, 1.
So have you ever been involved with CSLIT/CSLIT? If yes, describe your experience.
I have been in CSLIT just this year, and I've been attending meetings ever since.
All right,
Okay, perfect.
next question.
Question 2. All right, so the board is currently developing the budget for the upcoming year, and certain things may need to be cut. If you could choose only one, which one would you save? Religion, health, physical education, math, science, special education, or student leadership?
I am a firm believer in equity, and I think special education should be saved if any situation like this would happen, because each and every student deserves to have a chance to succeed.
All right.
Perfect. On to the next question. Question number 3 we have. All right. Given the current COVID-19 situation, students have had to transition to distance/online learning. What is your stance on e-learning?
E-learning, I believe, was actually just supposed to like help teachers, give students like homework over the internet. It was just as like a supplement. But now we're using it as fully as a classroom. I think it could be better and could be more streamlined and more innovative. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. And next question. If elected, what's one thing you want to change about the school board, and how do you plan on changing it?
I think we could change. We could change our like with like uniforms, because some people can't afford uniforms, and there are much better alternatives that are not as financially expensive to most families, and not as like environmentally you said, yeah, it's not like environmentally bad. Thank you.
Thank you. And the last question. Why do you think you are the best candidate as student trustee?
I think I'm the best candidate for student trustee because I want to listen to the students around the school board. I want to bring more people into CSLIT and see what their opinions are about the school board. And I will try to work hard. I will work hard into fixing those problems. Thank you.
Awesome. That concludes all of the questions that we have. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. So I believe we will have the next candidate brought in, and Kathy and I will switch roles. I'll be taking over the timing. Hello.
Hi.
Could you introduce yourself just quickly?
Okay. My name is Dominique Austria, and I go to Francis Lieberman.
All right, perfect. So Taylor is going to time your speech and your questions, and whenever you're ready.
Okay. Good afternoon. I'm Dominique Austria, and I go to Francis Lieberman. I'm only going to promise to do and change the things I am capable of. I can offer my trust and respect to students to make us all feel equal in our community. When I come to think about it, many students in the TCDSB are unaware of all the opportunities they have to choose from. Students should have the confidence to take risks and have passions for their hobbies, but the sometimes stressful environment has made it hard for them to do so. As a student trustee, I would make sure all students in the TCDSB would be more aware of all the resources offered to them, to make sure that they have the chance to discover and experience all the opportunities they are provided with to benefit their future. I can see that many students, not only at Francis Lieberman, but all around the board have lots of potential, but are not always getting the experience they need. Hardworking and dedicated leaders unaware of an event or conference they could be possibly benefiting from. It's sad not being able to watch each individual succeed, because I know when great leaders come together as one, great change can happen. In my grade 9 to 10 year, I was able to participate in a few activities within the school board, including Camp Olympia and Smile Camp. I also had the opportunity to go on a service trip back in May 2019. With that being said, having participated in these events showed how open-minded I was about taking new opportunities that were available to me. And I want the same for all students here at the Toronto Catholic District School Board. I've asked many individual student leaders a variety of questions to really understand their perspectives. One of the most common topics or conflicts all these student leaders had spoken about was that they all seemed to feel pressured or stressed from school. School is supposed to be our second home, our safe place. In fact, we spend most of our days at school. So why do we feel so pressured and anxious at a place we give so much of our time to? I feel that times now are very fast-paced in quarantine, but there are many different things we as a community can do to lift the spirits of many in our school board. For instance, during Mental Health Awareness Month and every month, we can use social media accounts to motivate students to complete their work, giving them the inspiration they need to, instead of the pressure that they may be receiving from others. I can voice your opinions and concerns. I want to advocate for students and reach out to them, make sure all their ideas are heard. Let them know that someone is here to listen to their opinions, thoughts, and ideas. I want to motivate students to become a better version of themselves. I see myself as someone who has struggled in the past, who has learned to become independent, but I'm still trying to understand who I am, so we can go through that change together. I want all students to feel safe at the CEC, at school, and all around other students and staff. However, people are so outwards about homophobia and racism, and as a community, we should try to stop the normalization of such behavior, and that is where the equity and inclusive education policy comes in. For all students, including racialized students, Indigenous students, students who have identified as LGBTQ, and many more. Although we don't actually know or understand how these students may feel. They may feel excluded or they may feel as if they don't belong, especially in a Catholic school. These students could feel pressured or may think that there are a set of standards they need to follow in order to fit in. Another aspect is bullying. It can happen both inside and outside of school, and most especially on social media. I will be an ally for all students who feel unsafe, and I will be an ally for all students who experience injustice. I can't choose the way people see me, but I can change the way I see other people. If I were elected, I would work on really seeing all of you, looking past all the superficial things about you, discovering who you are as students and people, because I want you to succeed. And I know voting for someone takes a lot of trust, and I'm willing to work hard every day to earn yours. Thank you.
Perfect. So we're going to roll right into our questions.
Okay.
So question number 1, have you ever been involved with CSLIT or CSLIT? If yes, please describe your experiences.
Hold on 1 second. So my experiences with CSLIT have been like very inclusive, and I've been to gala, I've been to many GAs, I've been to the CSLIT barbecue. What else have I done? I went to Smile Camp, and I think I'm just really involved with the community, and yeah.
Great, perfect. Our next question is, if the school board is currently developing the budget for the upcoming year, and certain things may need to be cut. If you could choose only one, which one would you save? Religion, physical health and physical education, math, science, special education, or student leadership?
In my opinion, I would save special education, because if we were to put special needs students in a normal classroom, we can't expect them to learn the same as everyone else, because some teachers just aren't trained for the job. Special education is basically described as an approach designed for exceptional students who either have physical disabilities, behavioral disorders, or challenges with learning. So the main objective of a special needs classroom is to ensure that students and children are safe and cared for. for their social and emotional needs, and that they are required with the support necessary for them to reach their true potential. So if we took that away from them, then they wouldn't learn the same, and it wouldn't be as equal.
Okay, thank you.
Question number 3. Given the current COVID-19 situation, students have had to transition to distance/online learning. What is your stance on e-learning?
So the temptation to procrastinate can be immense when it comes to online education, because we are responsible for how we spend our day and to create a schedule that revolves around our flexibility. Therefore, you need to stay focused, disciplined, motivated to complete an assignment. Students also could have a hard time to find the momentum and motivation to find or to complete these assignments. However, it can also build exceptional time management skills, and we can learn to become independent. And just some students in general are just not as fortunate as others to have a device to be able to have online learning or to continue with online learning.
Thank you. Perfect.
Question number 4. If elected, what's one thing you want to change about the school board, and how do you plan on changing it?
If I were elected, the first thing I would change would be the recognition of the LGBTQ community. Problems occurring in the TCDSB would be the normalization of transphobia and homophobia that is normalized daily. The use of hurtful, unnecessary terms inside and outside of school would hurt others because words do hurt. I plan on doing so by helping recognize June as Pride Month all over schools in the TCDSB. On the TCDSB website, Equity Inclusive Education Policy states that we proclaim that every individual, young or old, is to be treated with reverence, and that we are to see the face of God in every person. And on the Government of Ontario's website, it states that the principles of equity and inclusive education are to be embedded in all ministries, boards, and school initiatives, policies, and programs. It sets out Okay,
Sorry,
thank you. Oh my gosh.
Last question. Why do you think you're the best candidate as student trustee?
I feel like I have really good time management skills, and a lot of people say that they really enjoy my vibe when they get to know me, and I feel like I'm a very outgoing person, and with my social media accounts I can really advocate for students and make sure the latest news is on my Instagram story or on my Twitter, and I feel like I have a great personality. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Dominique.
Thank you so much.
So we're gonna call on our next candidate.
And we have
Hi,
Keith.
everyone.
Hello.
Before we start, just want to remind everyone to have kind and positive comments. This is not an easy thing to do, so just love and support.
Yes, that's what we're all about at CSLIT.
Okay, so we're gonna start your speech in 3, 2, 1.
Good afternoon, everyone. As you know, my name is Keith Anjavabian, and it is a pleasure to be speaking with all of you today. Before I even signed up for elections, my initial thought was that this was crazy, and I had no idea what I was doing. Then, I had a realization. I wanted to be able to represent the 91,000 students within the board. I wanted to communicate their opinions, concerns, desires, and act as a beacon to amplify their voices towards the board. This passion is what helped me decide to take a leap and sign up for the position of student trustee. Now let's think. What does it mean to be a student trustee exactly? As a student trustee, you're directly involved with student relations and must collaborate with a variety of peers to solve and improve school life. I don't want to bore you by talking about my experiences or accomplishments because that was the entire purpose of the application. I want you to know me for the person that I am. Someone who sees this position as far more than a task or job. Someone who will fight for, as long as they're in power, the betterment of our school community. And finally, someone that can and will promote student voice. I know how it feels to not be acknowledged or understood, and I would never wish that feeling upon our students. I refuse to sit idly by while students continue to feel overlooked, and will therefore actively reach out to everyone and ensure that their feelings and opinions are being heard, amplified, as well as incorporated. We all have our different reasons for being here, but I'm here for one reason, and one reason only: to become the voice of the students across the Toronto Catholic District School Board. Moving on, I have noticed over the years that our generation suffers greatly from poor mental health and are not able to live their lives to their full potential. If this situation did not seem bad enough, people are usually too afraid of being judged to speak up about their struggles. This was a tremendous realization for me. And knowing many students, whether it's our friends, the class clowns, the tech kids, or any other group, knowing that many of these kids suffer from the issues I saw firsthand is something I cannot bear. I want to provide a sense of comfort and ease to struggling students. Coming from someone who grew up quiet and timid, I truly realize how hard it is to speak up. As a student trustee, I want to advocate for mental health and fight against the stigma that prevents our students from speaking openly about their problems. This can be done in a multitude of ways, like implementing coping mechanisms, as well as promoting the presence of social workers and guidance counselors within each school. I want to be approachable to every single TCDSB student, as their concerns are my concerns, especially their mental health. Now, I want to show my appreciation to all of you for being here, because it shows that you care about our education and school life just as much as I do. Despite my strive and emphasis on academic success, the well-being of our students is equally as important. School is not always about studying for that math test or completing that English essay. Don't take that too seriously. Please complete your essays. But rather, it should also involve being in a safe environment that allows us to develop our character, learn, and improve our skills. Many students cannot grow as individuals because they may not feel like they belong in a community. In order to overcome this obstacle, we must promote the importance of equity and inclusivity. By strengthening inclusion and abolishing the obstacles that affect the success of our students, we will be able to build a strong community that promotes belonging. As a student trustee, I will make sure to elevate the significance of these two factors to ensure that we receive the highest quality of education there is. As you can clearly tell, my goal as a student trustee is to create an environment that is best suited for the success of our students, as well as to advocate for their health and safety and to ensure that our voices are constantly heard. To end off on a good note, Confucius, a Chinese philosopher, once said, "What I hear, I forget. What I see, I remember. What I do, I understand." Students, we've heard what we have to do. We have seen what we need to do. Now is the time to do it. And together, plus with your vote, anything is possible. Thank you for listening.
Awesome.
Thank you.
So
Thank
we're gonna dive right into the questions.
Yes. All right. So for your first question, have you ever been involved with ECSLIT/CSLIT in the past? If yes, describe your experiences.
Yes, I've been heavily involved with ECSLIT. Before ever being exposed to the student leadership environment, I was a very quiet kid. I was very shy. I didn't know about any problems within the school community. But after going to Camp Olympia, I became a leader. I realized that I had the probability of being a great leader today. And during Camp Olympia, that's when I shaped myself. That's when I knew that I could communicate as a person to everyone else around me. And in Smile Camp, that's when I learned about issues about the school community, which I wanted to advocate for in the future. Thank you for listening.
Perfect time.
Perfect. On to question number 2. I'll just wait for it to come up on the screen. All right. The board is currently developing the budget for the upcoming year, and certain things may need to be cut. If you could choose only one, which one would you save? Religion, health/physical education, math, science, special education, or student leadership?
So out of the 6 options, I would have to choose special education, and for a variety of reasons as well. If we take away, actually, if you heard from my speech, you would know that I want to advocate to create an environment that is best suited for all of our students. If we take away special education, we would be taking away the chances for some of our students to reach their full potential. I know it could be a shock that I didn't choose religion or student leadership, but you have to remember one thing. From one of the Catholic social justice teachings was common good, which refers to creating an environment that helps all human beings reach their full potential. That is why I would choose to save special education, because I want our students to reach their full potential. Thank you.
Thank you. On to the next question. Given the current COVID-19 situation, students have had to transition to distance/online learning. What is your stance on e-learning?
Okay, so I have 2 different views about this, because I actually did have to take e-learning courses during my summer, but that was my choice. I wanted to struggle. But when it comes to the COVID-19 situation, I know it may be difficult for some students to catch up with the work on e-learning, which is why I think it should only be It should only be an option, not mandatory, because some students' homes are not the ideal classrooms. Some students may feel as if the school is their safe place, which is why the e-learning shouldn't be mandatory, but just an option for everyone. That's it.
Perfect.
Thank you. All right, for our next question, we have, if elected, what's one thing you want to change about the school board, and how do you plan on changing it?
Similar to Dominique's answer, I want to change the views upon the LGBTQ, and for a variety of reasons as well. 2 days ago was International Day Against Homophobia, Transphobia, and Biphobia. And you know who actually raised awareness about that? Our Prime Minister, our Mayor, even our school board counterpart, the TDSB. And you know who didn't? The TCDSB. That is why I want to create a change and change the views upon the LGBTQ, because we have students a part of that community, and to acknowledge them would mean that we're being an inclusive school board. And we can't call ourselves an inclusive school board without actually taking note that our students are part of the LGBTQ community. Thank you.
Oh, perfect timing.
All right, and for this next question, all right, this is the last question. Why do you think you're the best candidate for student trustee?
I would say that I'm the best candidate because I have the determination to actually make a change. I won't just say like statements like, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and then actually get elected and not do them. I know what I promised, and I know I can make a difference. I know I have the determination because I have done so previously in the past. I've noticed issues within Marshall. That's why I became a junior rep. I wanted to talk about those issues. And then I've noticed social justice issues as well. That's why I volunteer. That's why I volunteer to help the homeless, to help poverty or prevent poverty, actually. And that's why I would feel as if I'm the best candidate for this.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That concludes the process. Thank you again for your speech and answering those questions.
Thank you for having me.
So we're going to call our next candidate, Nicole, and
hi.
Taylor is going to time your speech and start when you're ready.
Hi everyone, my name is Nicole Boyd and I go to St. Mother Teresa Catholic Academy, and of course I'm running for student trustee. My school's motto, Amare e Servire, is Latin, and it means to love and to serve, which is exactly what I aim to do. Starting off, I've seen that many of you would like to reach more students and grow the number of those involved in CSLIT, which aligns with one of my biggest goals, to further unite the students in our school board. There are a few ways this may be done. One way we can work towards this is by promoting throughout our schools with announcements and posters, as well as visiting schools that have a lower number of students who attend GAs in person and giving them a taste of what we are all about. By promoting CSLIT events directly in our schools, we give more students the opportunity to become great student leaders. Secondly, I think we should continue to provide interactive online activities. This quarantine has shown us how beneficial it is to stay connected, even if we may not be able to work as a community in person. Frequent meetings would provide a way for many of us to still be involved, despite having a number of other commitments outside of school, or not being able to consistently travel down to a school board for the monthly GAs. Lastly, I want to break down the little barriers that subtly divide us, with programs such as a pen pal program between students. There's been many occasions where we see activities like these make a change in the way we view each other. We as a generation need to work on having unconditional respect for each other and being consistently kind. I'd also want to put an emphasis on cultural occasions such as the History Months, with more events that can better relate to our generation. With these goals in mind, we can reach and engage more students, positively impact our peers, and build on our existing accomplishments, while also showing others how to get involved and make a change in their own schools and communities. I've been very involved with CSLIT, and you may have seen me once a month at the GAs cheering for attendance or dancing at the many events social affairs worked hard to pull off, such as the Christmas social. Those of you who are members in the subcommittees of either social justice or social affairs may know that I'm not the loudest person in the room. During meetings, which I've consistently attended throughout this school year, I often prefer to listen, rather than get my idea out there right away. That is an important quality to have in a leader. As I've mentioned in my campaign video, it's so important that we take the time to just listen to others. We may have our own beliefs and ideas, but the people around us have opinions that may often differ, and it is imperative we continue to stay open-minded and respectful. Mother Teresa once said, "I can do things you cannot, you can do things I cannot, but together we can do great things." Ending off, I am more than capable to take on this role and can apply what I've learned in other areas to different aspects of being a student trustee, such as confidence from performing, teamwork from my school's girl basketball team and Camp Olympia teams, and experience from being a key part of my own school student government. I am open to trying new things, and academically, I'm an honor roll student. Rain or shine, I will continue to be a hardworking leader, as this past year, I've made a commitment to show up to all the subgroup meetings and the monthly general assemblies. Despite occasional late notices, I was ready to step up to the plate. I can balance the numerous responsibilities, and I am prepared to advocate for all of your needs. Once again, I am Nicole Boyd. Thank you for your time and attention. Please stay safe, and I hope you consider me as a great candidate for this position.
Awesome. Thank you.
So we're gonna jump right into our questions. So question number 1, have you ever been involved with CSLIT or CSLIT? If yes, please describe your experiences.
Yes, I've been involved with CSLIT this school year. I'm part of the subcommittees of social justice and social affairs, and all of these experiences were really beneficial to my confidence. I became a better leader. I created bonds that I wouldn't trade for anything, and I'm grateful for opportunities like this where I can work towards improving our education and our communities.
Amazing. Question number 2. The board is currently developing the budget for the upcoming year, and certain things may need to be cut. If you could choose only one, which one would you save? Religion, health/physical education, math, science, special education, or student leadership?
If I was student trustee and I had to save one, I would choose student leadership. And that's because I believe it serves as a foundation for all of these other important courses. It teaches essential leadership skills that can be applied elsewhere. And it gives you the opportunity to really use real world skills and apply them elsewhere. For example, the service trip that I know a couple of you went on, including Kathy, it really gave you guys the chance to have a positive impact while using what you've learned in things like CSLIT. So that's why I think it should be saved.
Great. Question number 3. Given the current COVID-19 situation, students have had to transition to distance/online learning. What is your stance on e-learning?
In terms of e-learning, it works for me with all this quarantine and we have to stay inside. But I don't think that decisions can be made based on my preferences alone. We have to be able to represent all the students in the school board, as everyone has a different learning style. And I think everyone should have access to what works for them personally.
Great. So next question, number 4. If elected, what is one thing you want to change about the school board, and how do you plan on changing it?
The TCDSB already has a lot of great things. So if I were to be elected, I would want to focus on not changing things exactly, but adding and improving to everything that we already have. So I would want to focus on embracing diversity, and with programs such as a Pen Pals or promoting the History Months, as it can build lasting bonds and we can learn about others and how to tolerate different personalities and just better work with it.
All right.
Perfect. Thank
And
you.
on to our last question. Question number 5. Why do you think you are the best candidate as a student trustee?
I think I'm a great fit to be the next student trustee, and that's because I have lots of experience. I'm a dedicated hard worker, and I'm so passionate about everything that CSLIT stands for. I put my all into everything I'm a part of, and I really want to work on embracing diversity within our school board. So yes, I would be
Right. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Nicole. If you could go back to the Zoom call.
I will.
We're going to call on our next candidate.
Yes. Oh, we have Serenity. Hello.
Hi.
If you want to, I guess Kathy will get the timer up. Are you good?
Yep. We're good.
Okay,
Whenever you're ready for your speech.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Trinity Bui, and I'm from Bishop Morocco Thomas Merton. Just like you, I'm one of the 91,000 students part of the TCDSB. When I first started high school, I was only trying to survive the busy hallways and new classes with new people. I was seen struggling in classes and joining multiple extracurriculars, just like many others. Starting this year, I really began to look into CSLIT and how I could get more involved. And then I heard about grade 10s being eligible to run for student trustee. I was inspired to run for this position by observing the culture within my own school and listening to my friends from other schools talk about their experiences. I realized that not enough students are involved outside of their classes, and after hearing as to why some aren't involved, I found that this may be because some students are overwhelmed or they just don't know about what's being offered. I wanted to change that. I wanted to make a difference to those who surrounded me. Though there are many issues and topics I want to focus on, my three main focuses as a trustee would be student well-being, student involvement, and connection. Without a doubt, being a student can be stressful, especially as we get older with more responsibilities, a bigger workload, and more thoughts running through our minds. I can guarantee that most, if not all of us, can agree. This is why I find mental and emotional well-being one of the most important factors in being successful in and outside of school. Many articles in recent years have shown that mental health issues are on the rise, and so I want to make sure that students receive the proper emotional support that they'll need to do schoolwork and still have time for themselves. Having the proper emotional support also ties into being involved. Of course, no one can be stress-free, but helping students become less overwhelmed will then further help them become more involved in their communities. As youth, we're the next generation to think of something big for the future. Someone we know may become the next Bill Gates or Elon Musk. This is why I believe getting more students involved in different opportunities that are offered is important. They build leadership traits and help us become leaders of tomorrow. Building skills such as collaboration, creativity, and initiative, just to name a few, are important when helping us grow as people and leaders. So I want to reach out to more students who may not know about the opportunities being offered, whether it be through multiple social media platforms or personally reaching each school student council to let them know about what's going on. From personal experience, I can say that I wasn't able to find out about all these opportunities until becoming more deeply involved. And though unfortunately I missed some of these events, I don't want other students to miss them too. Additionally, connection between students is important. Not only do I want to be able to connect with the students in our board and represent their voices proudly, I also want students to be more connected with each other. Through the leadership opportunities and the events that the school board offers, many students are able to meet new people and create new bonds with each other. These type of events are what make our youth years so memorable. Meeting new people and experiencing new things is something that we can look back on and smile at. For example, when I first started attending more board-hosted events and CSLIT meetings, I met many people and made amazing memories. This encouraged me to keep on going to the meetings and being involved. Meeting new people can sometimes be life-changing. You never know who you're going to meet and when, and this is why I want to connect more students from the TCDSB together. To end off my speech, I would like to say that each and every student deserves an equal opportunity, no matter where they came from, where they are now, or where they want to be. I'm not giving this speech because I want to represent BMTM. I'm giving this speech because I want to represent all students. Because in the end, we can still relate to each other, whether it be procrastinating on homework or stressing over that one test. All of us are in this together. There's no I in trustee, but there is us. Thank you.
Right. Perfect.
All right, so we're going to jump into the questions now. For your first question, we have you ever been involved with EC/SLIT? If yes, describe your experience.
Yes, I have been involved with CSLIT before. And as I said in my speech, I started attending the CSLIT meetings this year. Through them, I was able to meet new people and see some old friends that I haven't seen in a really long time. In short, CSLIT was amazing. The energy-filled rooms and the speakers, the topics that were spoken about were meaningful and were relevant to our generation. The meetings also provided a feeling of home. The people who were at the CSLIT meetings acted like a family, and it was a feeling that I don't think I'll forget anytime soon.
Awesome. Thank you for that answer. On to the next question. All right, the board is currently developing the budget for the upcoming year, and certain things may need to be cut. If you could choose only one, which one would you save? Religion, health/physical education, math, science, special education, or student leadership?
So after seeing the question, I took some time to think about all the subjects, and it was hard because I found all of them important in different ways. But if I were to save one subject, I would say special education. Why? Well, first, I believe that giving education to those with special needs is essential. And second, including those with special needs in our school communities is important. Just by observing how the kids of special needs in my school are treated, I can tell that they feel loved and important in the environment that they're in. If special education were to be cut, then they would lose that connection that they have with staff and students, and it would be difficult for them to adapt. Not only that, but I believe other students can learn about being a leader, implement the teachings of Jesus, and learn many other skills through interacting with students of special needs.
Perfect. Thank you. For our next question, we have, given the current COVID-19 situation, students have had to transition to distance/online learning. What is your stance on e-learning?
So e-learning has become essential since the pandemic began, and personally, I'm not the biggest fan of it. Though I am okay with learning online, as that's the only way to continue with school, I find that it had a couple negative effects on not only me, but my friends as well. I found that it increased the amount of procrastination and decreased the amount of motivation. I'm passionate about learning, and I'm fueled about interacting and socializing with others in person. So for myself, the energy that I feel when I'm typing across a computer screen isn't much. And so that contributes to all my other feelings and wants to work on my responsibilities. But overall, I believe e-learning isn't for everyone like myself, and sometimes it can be challenging. But in the end, it's always good to challenge yourself with new things.
Thank you. And for our next question, if elected, what's one thing you want to change about the school board, and how do you plan on changing it?
So if I were elected to change one thing about the school board, I would change the way that they reach out to students. I've observed that not enough students take part in board run events because they aren't aware about it, or if they are, they don't know what it is or what it's for. I also observe that sometimes they don't receive accurate information or no information at all. I would plan on going about this by first contacting the student councils in our school board and asking them to send out a survey on how and if students often receive news from the TCDSB. After pinpointing exactly how students get information, as a trustee, I would organize a proper idea and bring up suggestions during board meetings or whenever it's appropriate.
Thank you. And on to the last question. Why do you think you're the best candidate as student trustee?
I believe I'm the best candidate as student trustee because I constantly aim to raise the bar. Every goal of mine that I achieve, I aim to do better the next time. This can prove that I'm passionate about whatever I choose to put my efforts into. I speak from the heart and fully express what I believe is right, but I'm still open to new suggestions and ideas and compromises. Also, I believe that all students serve great potential when given the right push, no matter where they come from. And lastly, I can be relatable because I'm just like everyone watching. I'm a student and I see no difference between any of us. I'll be just as much as a friend as I would be a trustee.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And just a reminder to jump back onto the Zoom call now. Yeah, awesome. Thank you. All right.
Our next candidate.
Hello.
Hello. So Taylor is going to time you. So
Yeah.
when you start speaking, she'll press that timer.
Yeah, give me 1 second. All right, whenever you're ready.
Okay. Hello to the black, the white, the red and brown, the purple and yellow. My name is Marcos. I'm running to be your student trustee. I'm a student from Michael Power St. Joseph High School, and I'm passionate about volunteering, social justice, and student voice. Okay, let me calm down a little bit. As student trustee, I just want to make sure that your next 2 years are as great as possible. And I have many ideas that I want to get done. First off, I think that the most important thing in schools and education is making sure that everyone feels welcome and that they belong. And a big problem to this is stigma. Stigma towards mental health, the LGBTQ, different ethnicities, and others. The main cause of stigma is misinformation. And as student trustee, I propose that a solution to this is to be able to better inform the student body on these matters, like having assemblies and providing reputable sources so that we are better informed. And I want to replace stigma with positivity, which brings me to my second idea. Currently, we live in a time where mental health is incredibly important, and things like social media can really hinder people's self-confidence and mental positivity. So I want to implement a week or a certain time where we are able to celebrate each other and ourselves so that we can boost morale and remember that we are all children of God and that He made each and every one of us beautiful and amazing. As student trustee, I would also like to establish a platform where the student council of every Catholic high school can easily communicate. Sometimes it can seem like the Catholic high schools are far apart. Someone's up in North York, someone's at the edge of Etobicoke. So if we have a platform where we are able to communicate with each other, where we can build a bond with each other, then we can help each other out and make collaboration and communication even better amongst the Catholic board. Lastly, I want to tackle the issue of climate change and our planet. During this time, we see that climate change has gone down by the lack of inactivity. So we can make a difference. And I want to show that students and children, we want to change the future and we want to help out our home and our planet. As student trustee, I will promise I will do my best to accomplish all these ideas. Vote for the change you want to see. Vote for Marcos. Thank you. That's my speech.
Great.
Thank you so much. So we're going to start on the questions.
Awesome.
So question number 1, have you ever been involved with eCSLIT or CSLIT? If yes, please describe your experiences.
Yes, I have been to a CSLIT, and it was so amazing to just see students from like Catholic high schools I haven't even heard of all together, just talking to each other, collaborating, and just showing our voice, a student's voice, which is very important.
Right, amazing. Thank you so much for that answer. So our next question is, the board is currently developing the budget for the upcoming year, and certain things may need to be cut. If you could only choose one, which one would you save? Religion, health slash physical education, math, science, special education, or student leadership?
I personally would choose student leadership because I believe that the other subjects, it's really about like a passion that we can integrate ourselves. We can like for math we can strive to learn math, but I think student leadership, that's not taught. That's not an everyday thing that we can do. And in a time like now where freelance jobs are getting higher, and we want students, we want children to have that passion to do something that they want to do. And I think student leadership can really bring out that passion, that voice that we want to see from students so that they can do what they want to do in the future.
All right, thank you. Next question is question number 3. Given the current COVID-19 situation, students have had to transition to distance/online learning. What is your stance on e-learning?
So I personally think that e-learning is an excellent way for students to learn, but like in the given circumstances, like it's very erratic because some teachers don't really know what's happening. Some students don't really know what's happening. So if we can have like an organized and like established platform for e-learning, it'll be like much better. Like if we have that time, like when we have the time to go online to talk to our teachers, that 3 hours of school every day, then I think that really helps students learning, because it's a lot different than an actual classroom environment. But I think that teachers and other students implementing online, that can really help make e-learning better. So, yeah.
Thank you.
So question number 4. If elected, what's one thing you want to change about the school board, and how do you plan on changing it?
Well, so like I said in my speech, like one of the things that I really just want to change is how we view stigma. I think that it's something that's still permanent in our schools that we still see every day. And I really just want to make sure, because I think that the most important part of education is for everyone to feel comfortable and safe in in a school environment. So then to tackle stigma, I think that is the change that I would want to see in the school board.
Amazing. So on to our final question. Why do you think you're the best candidate as student trustee?
Well, first of all, I think that we're all great candidates, but I think I'd be the best candidate because I'm just incredibly passionate about student voice and just building a collaboration between students and this the school board. And I'm sorry, I'm emotional. It's something I'm really proud, something that I really strive for. And you know, like sometimes I have not been comfortable in my school environment, and I felt different. And I want to make sure that no one feels like that. I want to make sure everyone feels great in their school environment, and that's why I think I'd be the best candidate.
Awesome. So thank you so much for like your speech and everything. Make sure you hop back onto the Zoom call.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. For our next candidate, we have Julia. Hello, hello.
Hi.
So whenever you're ready, we'll start the timer.
Okay, I'm ready now. Good afternoon, TCDSB. My name is Julia Rodriguez, and I'm a grade 10 student at Monsignor Percy Johnson, here to tell you why I believe I'm a fitting representative for the position of Catholic Student Trustee. To start off, let me break down this position for you. When you think of Catholic Student Trustee, what do you think of? Do you see a powerful leader who promises change and activism? Do you see an influential figurehead, establishing guidelines and advocating for change? Or do you see a strong, compelling activist, a leader that makes lasting change on a large body of students? What is your definition of a leader? Well, let me start off by telling you mine. The position of Catholic Student Trustee is for a leader, but not just any leader. You see, to me, leadership is not about power. It is not about authority. It is not about command or control. To me, leadership is a decision we make to influence others. It is about listening. It is about collecting information and cultivating it into a goal that we must reach in order to benefit the needs of our students across the TCDSB. Leadership is not about satisfying oneself. It is about advocating for equality and catering to the needs of those whose voices cannot be heard. In my opinion, leadership is not about position or status. Leadership is about our urge to defy the pressure, to cave in the face of adversity. It is about helping our fellow students and advocating for change when our peers are faced with inequity and injustice. In our world today, some leaders feel the necessity to validate their status as a leader by having many followers. But in truth, leadership is not defined by our ability to have or attract many followers. I was listening to a TEDx talk by a man named Peter Anderton, and in his talk, he stated that leadership is defined by our ability to create and inspire more leaders. And I could not agree more. I truly believe that leadership is not about myself, but rather it is about others. Now, before I move on, I'd like to quickly talk about this role of Catholic Student Trustee. It is all in the name. I'm not applying for the position of student trustee, but rather Catholic Student Trustee. As a Catholic student leader, I believe that leadership is not about domain, power, or prominence, but rather it is about our service to others through our faith. As you see, Jesus exemplified his leadership through his service to others, through humility, compassion, and love. And out of all the possible traits a leader can possess, I think that those are the most important ones. I'd like to sum up my speech with a quote by Eleanor Roosevelt, a quote that defines leadership in my eyes. The quote goes as follows: "A good leader inspires people to have confidence in the leader, but a great leader inspires people to have confidence in themselves." Now, there's nothing special about me. I'm not a well-known advocate for change that people idolize for changing the world. I'm not known for doing something prestigious or for being a well-renowned leader with ambitious plans to take over the world one day. But in fact, I'm just a student like you, just like the other 90,000 students across the TCDSB. But what's different about me is my passion for change, my passion to be a leader who inspires others to be confident student leaders, and my passion to be the next Catholic Student Trustee. For the world is in our hands. We are the students of today, and I believe that we are all, yes, all leaders. We are the leaders of tomorrow. Thank you. Once again, I'm Julia Rodriguez from MPJ. Thanks for listening to my speech.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be jumping into the questions now.
Okay.
All right, so for our first question, have you ever been involved with EC-SLIT/CSLIT? If yes, describe your experience.
Yes, I have been involved with CSLIT. So now I've been involved with many leadership initiatives in my school, such as being the grade 9 rep and now junior rep in my school student council, and being involved with other leadership teams, such as the Johnson Leadership Team, Johnson Athletic Council, and chaplaincy. However, I really wanted to expand my leadership horizons, and so I started attending CSLIT GAs with my school. Let me tell you, they were incredible leadership experiences to have. I was able to network with a large group of like-minded and passionate leaders, and I would totally recommend CSLIT to every high school student. It's really going to help enrich your overall high school leadership experience.
Thank you. For our next question, the board is currently developing the budget for the upcoming year, and certain things may need to be cut. If you could choose only one, which one would you save? Religion, health/physical education, math, science, special education, or student leadership?
All right, so I would definitely save cuts to special education. I truly believe that we should not allow cuts to be made to students that are in greater need of any support, whether it be solely educational or not. I stand firm in believing that educating our students in a way that addresses their individual differences and special needs is not something that we should allow to be lessened or diminished. I believe that each and every student, regardless of their learning needs, deserves the highest quality of education, and students with individual learning plans or multiple exceptionalities should not be placed at the short end of the stick.
Thank you for that answer. For the next question, we'll just wait for that to pop up. All right, given the current COVID-19 situation, students have had to transition to distance/online learning. What is your stance on e-learning?
All right, so personally, I think that e-learning has been an effective tool used to transition from our traditional in-class learning to distance learning in our homes. Given how frequently we use technology in our daily lives, adapting to e-learning has been widely accepted for many students across the board. However, I also believe that e-learning is not a one-size-fits-all scenario. One of the drawbacks to e-learning is that it doesn't fit or suit all learning types. Through our e-learning platforms, we must ensure that we deliver learning materials online for auditory, visual, and kinesthetic learners to accommodate all learning needs. Having said that, I do believe that as long as every student has equal accessibility to an electronic device and a way to communicate with their teachers, e-learning will be an effective tool for distance learning.
Thank you so much. For our next question, we have, if elected, what's one thing you want to change about the school board, and how do you plan on changing it?
All right, so if elected a student trustee, my ultimate goal is to be able to help every single student discover their potential as a Catholic student leader within our board. Although our TCDSB is already amazing with their leadership initiatives across the board, like CSLIT, for example, I believe that we can amplify Catholic student leadership even more. And you may be asking, Julia, how can we do this? And my answer is simple. My purpose as a Catholic student leader is solely to serve others. I want to help other students broaden their leadership horizons and discover their leadership capabilities and capacities. I believe that by working with other boards and their student trustees, we can improve our public leadership interrelations and therefore increase student awareness when it comes to the abundance of leadership initiatives that are available to them.
Thank you. And on to our final question. Why do you think you're the best candidate as student trustee?
All right, so personally, I think that I'm the ideal candidate for the position of Catholic student trustee because of the way I define and envision leadership for myself. As I stated in my speech, leadership is not about power or position. It is about putting plans into action, effectively communicating and listening, and representing the voices of those who cannot be heard. Most importantly, as student trustee, I want to help students discover the amazing leadership opportunities that are available to them in our school board. I want them to realize their leadership potential, for as Eleanor Roosevelt said, as I put it in my speech, a good leader inspires people to have confidence in the leader, but a great leader inspires people to have confidence in themselves.
Perfect. Thank you so much for your time and for sharing. All right. Yeah, if you could head over to the Zoom.
Okay.
And we'll now welcome in our next candidate.
Hello. So Taylor's going to time you whenever you're ready.
Hey there, my name is Nina Song, and as a fellow grade 10 student at Cardinal Carter Academy for the Arts, I'm running to be your next student trustee. Let me start with a word, change, an inevitable process we all encounter. In fact, we're all encountering the same type of change right now by being stuck in quarantine. As COVID-19 hit a few months ago, we are continuing to adapt a new lifestyle by being stuck in quarantine, not being able to see loved ones, and getting the proper education we need as students. The change that we're facing now is no different from the change that we will be facing during the upcoming school year. We as students cannot predict the future, but we can plan for what is to come. We all assume that a leader is someone who has the power, the opportunities, and in some cases, a legacy. Although many of us think that leadership is found within the barriers of experience, individually, we are our own leaders. I believe that leadership is a skill we all have. Many of us have found a way to use the skill, and with experience, development of one's leadership will be acknowledged by others. A few years ago, I moved to Toronto from Chicago, and I was able to have the opportunity to experience the American education system and the Canadian education system. The biggest difference between the two education systems is that American schools have more academic opportunities for students. Students are given the chance to try new subjects at different academic levels, such as AP and honors, and co-curricular clubs that involve leadership-oriented skills and work fields such as business, health, health sciences, and STEM. Although Canadian schools have many opportunities similar to American schools available, these opportunities are not addressed to students. Recently, I came across an article by the National Center for Education Statistics that details the percentage of students worldwide that switch majors during their first year in university. 80% of students switch their major. That's right, 80%, which is quite jaw-dropping to hear. Students tend to pick a major that is suitable to them, yet they do not know if the major truly interests them. As student trustee, I want students to be able to discover their interest for their future career pathway before it's too late. I plan to start many conferences throughout the school year for students who want to bring change to their school environment. These conferences will be monthly and happen at the CC building, and every so often, a guest speaker will be at the conferences, such as alumni across their board and professionals in different work fields. The alumni guest speakers will speak about their experiences transitioning from high school to post-secondary and answer any questions that students may have. The professionals from different work fields will speak more about their field, giving an insight to students what they could possibly be studying in the next few years. This plan will allow for maximum impact to all levels in our school board, from elementary to high school levels. As your new student trustee, I promise to represent the voices of students within our district. I will continue to present new ideas and issues concerning our education to the board, which will hugely impact our district on a provincial level. From my speech today, I would like you all to remember this. It's not a position or an entitlement that defines your career. Leadership is shown through action and example. As John C. Maxwell says, a leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So we're gonna just get started with the questions. Question number 1, have you ever been involved with CSLIT or CSLIT? If yes, please describe your experiences.
I have not been involved in those two categories that you just explained, but I have been a part of many of my school events, such as school open houses and audition days, helping students to know more about my school in particular, which is Cardinal Carter, an art school, and giving them an insight of what student life at Carter would be. So that is one example of leadership that I have done, and volunteering at many summer camps that I went as a camper and helping students learn a different language and the history of the language, which is my ethnicity, Korean. And yeah.
All right, great. So Taylor's frozen, so I'm just going to be the timer. So the next question is, waiting for the next question to pop up. I think Mike, yeah, okay, Mike's computer is frozen, so just give it a minute.
Okay.
There we go.
Eunice, sorry for the delay. Kathy, do you have the next question ready? I can't seem to put it up on the screen.
I can share my screen. Sorry. Can you give me a second? Can you see it? Okay, perfect. So the board is currently developing the budget for the upcoming year, and certain things may need to get cut. If you could only choose one, which one would you save? Religion, health/physical education, math, science, special education, or student leadership?
I think that all the subjects that you've just mentioned are very important to students, but one subject, if I had to say, would be health and physical education, because I believe that many students need health and physical education in their knowledge, because as we are growing up to become adults, health and physical education is very important. As of now, too, during COVID-19, we all have to be looking out for our health. And I think that is a very key component into learning, as well as physical education. As technology has evolved around us, many students tend to just stay home and start gaming and not go out as we used to, and get the physical education that we need as students. And I believe that having those two courses available to us will enrich students to become more healthy.
You're done with your time.
Okay.
Okay. Next question. Given the current COVID-19 situation, students have had to transition to distance/online learning. What is your stance on e-learning?
I believe that e-learning is a very good platform for learning. There are some issues regarding e-learning at the moment, but I think that it is a very good platform for students. Some students are not able to learn through this platform because there are some people that need teachers actually explaining the lessons in PowerPoints. For me, I found that a struggle at first, but I learned individually to learn all the PowerPoints on my own. But I believe that this system is a very good system during this cause right now, as well as this pandemic is getting worse. I think it's a very good resource.
All right. Next question. Before I read it, can we please keep the comments kind and respectful? One last time. So question number 4. If elected, what is one thing you want to change about the school board, and how do you plan on changing it?
Like I mentioned in my speech, I want to start those monthly conferences. So first, I would bring this proposition to the board, and then with the board's approval, I would email the guest speakers, the alumni across our board, and the professionals within different work fields. And after getting their confirmations, I would post a Google Forms on our Instagram page so students will be able to see what they could possibly be seeing within the months and pick their top priority. For example, business would be entrepreneurship, accounting, health sciences would be like psychology and medicine. And I plan to have this whole plan finalized by mid-November and start conferences during the beginning of December.
Right. And on to our final question. Why do you think you're the best candidate as student trustee?
I think that I'm the best candidate as student trustee because I have a determined mindset of what I want to do and what I want to change within our board. And not just for our board, I want this whole speech that I presented today to influence others watching the stream right now to bring change within their districts school districts as well, because it is a very important issue right now during COVID-19, because we're not getting the proper education we need. I think that having well-minded people will bring a big change.
All right, thank you so much. So that was our final questions. Please make sure you return back to the Zoom, and we're going to continue to explain how everything will work.
All right. So yeah, that concludes, I guess, the main session of the night. Thank you all for sticking with us and joining us to enjoy those amazing speeches. I hope you all learned something, maybe got inspired a bit, and now have obviously a better understanding for your votes. So speaking of voting, we'll jump into that now.
Yeah, so there should be our slide should show up. Oh my God.
Amazing, girls. Can we give a round of applause to all 8 candidates,
Yeah.
please?
Yes, super
Thank
proud
you,
of our
Kathy
school board.
Taylor, for facilitating that. All 8 candidates were amazing. All 8 candidates are actually being held in a separate Zoom call, but at this time we're going to invite all the 8 candidates to leave the Zoom call and join the crowd. So what we've told everyone was each of the 8 candidates, they will be with us now, part of the crowd, and they're going to give one final message, but within the chat box, so that they have one more chance to let you know why they are the best candidate to be voted for. And speaking about voting, Kathy and Taylor are going to explain to you how the voting process is going to work. So take it away, girls.
So every year we use the alternate vote, and this is the same video I had last year, and this is the same video that Taylor had when she ran. So we're just gonna play it, and please pay close attention, and then after the video we'll have further instructions. The mic is coming. All right. We're ready.
All right. So pay attention closely, because this is how you need to fill out your online ballot right after this video.
Is it playing?
Queen Lion of the Animal Kingdom is displeased. She recently introduced elections for the office of the king using the first past the post voting system. While the realm started out as a healthy democracy with many parties running candidates for king, it quickly developed into two-party rule with the citizens not liking either one, but trapped within the system because of a problem called the spoiler effect. However, one of Queen Lion's subjects from a distant land, Wallaby, has a solution: the alternative vote. What's the difference? To find out, let's follow one voter on election day, Red Squirrel, under both systems. There are 5 candidates running for king, 2 members of the big parties, Gorilla and Leopard, and 3 other candidates, Turtle, Owl, and Tiger. Under first past the post, Red Squirrel gets a ballot where he picks just one candidate. Red Squirrel really likes Turtle and even campaigned for him. However, he knows his new neighbor, Gray Squirrel, is voting Gorilla. And what, starts to wonder Red Squirrel, about all the other animals? Who are they going to vote for? The debates on the Animal News Network only had the big parties, so Red Squirrel thinks it's going to be a close race between Gorilla and Leopard. While he's indifferent toward Gorilla, he's deathly afraid of Leopard. Because he can only pick a single candidate, he gives his one vote to Gorilla in hopes of preventing Leopard from becoming king. This is strategic voting, and it's a necessity under first past the post. But now let's look at the alternative vote, which Wallaby explains to Red Squirrel. Instead of picking one and only one candidate, he can rank them in order of his most favorite to his least. He goes into the voting booth and gets the same ballot as before, but now puts Turtle as first choice, Owl as second, and Gorilla as his third. He disliked Leopard and Tiger equally, so he stops filling in his ballot and drops it in the box. At this point, Red Squirrel doesn't care exactly what happens. He has other things on his mind, and he heads off. But you, dear citizen, want to know how the votes are counted, so here goes. Turtle, beloved though he is with some of the citizenry, comes in last place with only 5%, and he is eliminated from the race. Because the voters rank their candidates in order, we can know what would have happened if Turtle didn't run. Without Turtle, voters like Red Squirrel would have picked Owl instead, so their votes are transferred to her, as though Turtle was never in the race at all. This is why the alternative vote is sometimes called instant run voting. Able to simulate a bunch of elections where the least popular candidate is eliminated after each round, without all the time and expense it would take to run a bunch of campaigns one after another. The alternative vote method keeps eliminating the least popular candidate until someone either wins a majority or only one is left. As no one has a majority yet, the next lowest candidate, Tiger, is eliminated. Tiger voters listed Leopard as their second choice, so she gets Tiger's vote. In the last round, Gorilla is eliminated. Guerrilla voters listed Owl as their second choice, so Owl gets those votes, wins a majority, and is crowned king. The alternative vote is a better system because it produces winners that a larger number of voters can agree on. The vote does have its flaws. It's important to note that any problem AV has, first past the post also shares. They aren't proportional systems. They can't guarantee a Condorcet winner, which math geeks hate, but there isn't time to explain here. And over time, they both trend towards two parties. That being said, alternative vote has a huge advantage that first past the post lacks and makes it mathematically superior. No spoiler effect. Imagine one final election. Two big candidates are running, Gorilla and Leopard looks set to win 55 to 45. But then a third party candidate, Tiger, enters. Tiger manages to convince 15% of Leopard voters to back him instead. Under first past the post, Gorilla now wins, even though a majority of the voters didn't want him. Under the alternative vote, because all Tiger voters put Leopard as a second choice, Leopard still wins because a majority of the citizens of the animal kingdom would rather have her in charge than Gorilla. Using the alternative vote, citizens can help support and grow smaller parties that they agree with, without worrying that they'll put someone they don't like in office. After examining the differences between them, Queen Lion decrees that the alternative vote is to be the rule of the land for electing the king, and everyone is happier. Well, almost everyone. The two big parties can't be as complacent as they used to be, and need to campaign much harder to convince their voters to support them. This has been the alternative vote, explained by me, CGP Gray. Thank you very much for watching.
Awesome. So hopefully that helped a little bit in understanding what the alternative voting system is all about. If you were a bit confused, because I'm seeing a few comments of people saying that they're confused, what you basically have to know is that it's like an instant runoff. So we'll go through, you'll have the Google form, which is on catholicstudentleadership.com. That it's in the same area where you click the YouTube link to come and watch this.
Yeah, so it's the same like blog post, and then you'll see like a vote now link. So click that. It's only active for 15 minutes, so until like 6:15.
Yeah, and then once you're there, you'll have like a drop-down list, so you'll be able to like rank the 8 candidates. And from there, basically, we go through all of that, and we're basically doing like 31 like mini elections. So we'll put all of the votes from a certain school together, and we will have like a mini election to decide the top choice and like the ranked list for that school. Because traditionally, like if we were doing this face to face, you'd be able to sit with your school and decide together on one list as a school, since it's one vote per school. So basically, since it's online, you'll fill out that form. We will do that work to figure out that list for each school. And yeah, so like what the video said was just, we'll go through the first round. If someone has like a 50+1, if they have a majority, then like they'll win. If not, eliminate the candidate at the bottom and then transfer their votes over, and you just keep doing that until either someone has a majority or there's only one candidate left. If you like really don't understand, honestly, most important thing is just to like have all your candidates ranked, and then like Kathy and I and Chloe and Mike will sort out all the logistics behind it.
Yeah, so make sure you go to the website, like Catholic Student Leadership. Oh, there we go. CatholicStudentLeadership.com. Click the Google Form voting link. Also, in the chat, like I think Mike posted the link in the chat as well. So cast your vote by ranking the candidates 1 to 8. You can only vote for like each candidate like one time. Make sure you use your TCDSB like board email login. Any non-TCDSB emails will not count. So only your board email. And then when you're done, please come back for our pizza question game. So this link is active until 6:15. So make sure you go and you vote.
Yes.
Very excited. There, I see Mike posted the link in our chat box. So voting link is now open.
All right, we have over 300 people watching, so that'll be a lot of votes. Remember, you can only vote once, and you need to vote with your TCDSB account and that'll verify that you are a TCDSB student. And it is only high school students that can vote for our student trustee election. So there might be some elementary students here that I could see or vote. If elementary school, if you go onto the form, you'll be able to vote, but you won't see your drop-down list, so it won't work. So only high school students, please vote, and that is awesome. So it says,
I'm being told that the link isn't active.
okay, I'm gonna go check the link now to see.
All right.
If it is active. I'm going to catholicstudentleadership.com, and basically you're going to click the same place where you clicked to log on to this meeting.
It doesn't allow us.
And I'm going to click vote here. It works for me. Can you try it on your end, Kathy?
I'm trying it on my phone and it's like not working. It's like black. It's not.
I think it's just the color. But try
No,
to...
everyone in the chat is letting us know.
Yeah, it's in the
not
a lot of
working.
people in the comments.
Okay, let me see if I can change it. One sec.
Yeah, so everyone just give us a minute. Okay, some people are starting to say that they can access the form.
Yeah.
It's working now. Okay, perfect.
Perfect. I actually didn't do anything.
Then that's so weird. That's weird.
I think it just needed time to upload.
Okay, I'm trying to click
Okay,
it on
so-
my phone. Oh, I can't. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's why you
Just
have to
everyone refresh your page. Yeah.
Yeah.
It says
So-
someone said I'm on it, but their school isn't on the list.
All high schools should be on that list. Can you type in the that you can't find on the list?
Okay, people are saying it's working, but some people are saying it's not working. Pinky Butterfly, if you could tell us what school?
I think Pinky Butterfly is from St. Sylvester. So it's only
Then
high schools that are allowed to vote.
yeah, it's only high schools. Sorry, but when you're in grade 9 to like 12, you can vote.
Yeah, and I think the issue is when you go to catholicstudentleadership.com and you click the link to go to this YouTube broadcast, when you go back to it, you can't just go back to it. You have to refresh it. And when you refresh it, that voting link will be active.
Yeah, possibly. Okay, some people are asking when the results are in. They're going, should we explain that now?
Sure. While people are waiting, after you finish voting, we're going to have a game and give away a pizza lunch, but it'll take a while for us to calculate. So Kathy and Taylor will explain to you when and how we are going to give the results.
Okay, so we're going to collect everyone's results until 6:15, and then please return like back to the same blog post. And there's a link that says like results. It'll be at 8 p.m. and that's when we will announce our elected candidate. So 8 p.m.
Correct. So it'll take us a while to calculate all the results from all the different high schools, but the same exact place where you're voting and the same exact place where you logged on here, there's 3 links. And let me go look at it now.
There's
one
watch
leadership.com.
Yeah. It's
There's
just
join here at 4:30, there's vote here, and there's election results at 8 o'clock. So at 8 o'clock, we will have the election results. So click election results, 8 p.m. link, and we'll all meet back here to see who the winner is for our student trustee elections. So before we get on to the game, Taylor, any comments about the candidates?
Honestly, I'm just feeling super pumped I feel so like sure that we're going to have some amazing leaders spearheading Catholic student leadership within CSLIT and also at the board level. Like I'm confident in like if any of these candidates wins, like we're going to be in good hands. And like I'm so proud of Kathy for being my co this year and like doing such an amazing job. And Kathy, like I know you're going to do an amazing job with whoever gets elected today. And yeah, like the possibilities are so limitless. There were so many amazing ideas and like platforms shared today. So I am really hopeful for the future and excited to check back in and come back and visit Toronto, maybe step in on a conference, and see how things are going. Yeah, I'm very, very hopeful for an amazing year to come for sure.
There's a message there for you, Taylor, at the bottom.
Thank you.
Here's another message for you. Kathy, what do you think of the candidates?
Yeah, I saw Rachel's comment too. I miss her so much. It's been such a crazy first year. This is definitely not what I imagined my year to like start off as, like as a student trustee. But honestly, I'm so thankful for every opportunity, whether it was an up or a down, like during my first term, like everything is a learning opportunity, whether it's good or bad. And I love like all the support I get from students, and I like how they like trust me so much and how we're able to like have a mutual connection, even though maybe we've met maybe once or twice. I love like connecting with everyone. I know like one of my favorite parts was being a guest speaker back in September. Was like very mind-boggling because I was like, I've never thought I'd get to that point where I'd have to travel all the way to the East End and like share my wisdom with people. It's been a thrill, and I'm very excited to continue with my leadership journey.
Amazing. We have 9 minutes left before the election closes. Taylor, there's a question for you from Joseph, and yes, we are so proud of after finishing high school, and that's where I went. We had another trustee go to Harvard, and we have Taylor going to Yale. Oh my gosh, that is crazy. Taylor, what are you taking at Yale?
Yes, so I'm planning on majoring in ethics, politics, and economics. So it's all together in one program. So yeah, I'm super excited to get started and start jumping into classes. I've already met some new people like online. They've been setting up virtual stuff for us. So really excited for the future.
I agree with Marcos. He says don't go. Please don't.
I know,
TCDSB loves you too much.
I was literally like tearing up like hearing you talk and also just like reading through the comments. I'm gonna miss this a lot, but I'm gonna visit.
For sure.
I'm gonna visit.
Also, look at Joseph's comment. I agree.
All right, we
one
have
of the best leaders. 7 minutes.
Mylin and Jeanette. So Mylin, you were in the background with all the candidates. Yes. I'm going to ask you two questions. One, how did you find, what do you think of all the candidates? And two, what were you all talking about while in the virtual waiting room with all 8 candidates?
So I think this year we definitely have a very large number of strong candidates, and I'm so excited to see who actually gets the vote for student trustee. I know that all of them will do well. Either they apply for exec, or if they do get the position. Also, we were just talking about stuff we've been doing in quarantine and ways to, de-stress before their speeches.
All right. And Jeanette.
Sorry, you were choppy and I didn't hear your question.
The question was, what did you think of all the candidates and their speeches, Jeanette?
Oh my gosh, all of them were all wonderful, and I can see through all their speeches all the passion and how much they want to become a student. And I just can't wait to see who will win and see what they have to offer for us next year and next coming year as well.
Yeah, all the candidates were definitely amazing. Now, unfortunately, we can only pick one candidate who will be joining Kathy. But what we'll be telling all the candidates is there's so many different ways to get involved with CSLIT, even if you do not get selected as the student trustee. Sure, game to stick around because Kathy and Taylor are going to explain to you, even for those of you that did not run for student trustee, all the amazing ways that you could be part of CSLIT, part of our Catholic student leadership team, and one of those ways is be a member of our CSLIT exec. The time now is 6:10. We have 5 minutes left. Taylor, how does it feel that your term is starting to end?
It's definitely becoming more real. Like honestly, each second that this like video call goes by, it's like slowly setting in more and more. Honestly, like I have like no regrets. I'm super like happy with how everything went down. Obviously, like not every moment was smooth. That's just not how life goes. But I think like Kathy and I like together, we did a really great job of rolling with the punches and really responding to some of the things that have been thrown at us this year. Like everything from, I don't know, there was like the QP stuff, and then the board of like the code of conduct debate, and then like now just like school not happening at all. So there's been a lot of different changes to adapt to. But I think I've been able to grow a lot, and honestly, like some of my closest friends like are literally not even from my school. It was like through CSLIT, and like so proud to like call like Kathy one of my closest friends. And it's been really awesome to not only work with these amazing people, but to really become close with them. So yeah, I'm really gonna miss it, but I'm definitely gonna stay in contact.
Amazing. Kathy, question for you.
Yes.
Now that Taylor's leaving, what's like one thing that you take away from Taylor's leadership?
Stand your ground, definitely. There's always going to be someone to say something, but it doesn't matter. Like, our job is to represent all of our students. And if that's what we need to do, like, that's what we need to do. So it's to definitely like stand my ground and like say what I need to say, because I'm not doing it for me. When I said my speech, I said that students make up the TCSB, and I still stand by that. We're here for them. So that's what I'm taking away from Taylor.
Yep. So Taylor, what's one tip or advice you have for the incoming student trustee, whoever that winner is come 8 o'clock?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Honestly, I would say like spend a lot of time at the beginning, just brainstorming, bouncing ideas like with Kathy, and then like your code the following year, to really set up some amazing plans, because time really does fly. And I know that's so cheesy to say, but it really, really does. And like the amazing thing about the role of student trustee is that like it's really what you make it. It's like Mike's favorite Mike's famous quote of like, what you put into it is what you get out of it. And like that is so applicable in everything, but especially student trustee, because like you can choose to, you know, go to that extra meeting. You can choose to run your own event. You can choose to like go and visit schools on your own time, or like set up like an initiative to gather student voice. Like the possibilities are limitless. So it's really just about like how much initiative you have, how hard you're going to work to like go and get and like attain those goals and make a difference. So yeah, definitely like spend that time at the beginning. Dream big. Like there's so many things that I didn't think were possible that like through working with like Mike and Kathy, with like exec, Mylin and Jeanette and the rest of exec, and like senior staff too, like we've been able to do a lot of things I didn't even think were possible. So yeah, definitely don't have any kind of like barriers set up in your mind. Anything is really possible with this role.
Amazing. 1 minute left before the polls close. Oh my God.
Oh man.
We got 1 minute left. So for those of you that have not voted yet, and there was over 300 people at one time, I don't know, it was something, and I didn't keep track, and I have to look back. So if any of you want to go back and see some of the speeches, the same link that you got onto here will be a YouTube link, so you can always go back. So for any of the candidates that are watching, if you want to go back and see how you did online or share that video with your family or use it on your resume, that YouTube link is there. You can go see how you responded to those questions. Okay, it's 6:15. We are going to close our election online voting, and we're going to turn it over to Chris, Jeanette, and Mylin. And Chris, if you could share your screen. And Chloe, if you can close the poll, please. So Chloe, close the poll. We'll jump on to a call. And now it's time for anyone who is still watching for you to win a pizza lunch delivered to your doorstep, large pizza with 3 toppings delivered to your doorstep. And what we're going to do now is hand it over to Chris, Mylin, and Jeanette. They're going to do the game while me, Kathy, and Taylor will add up. And remember, 8 o'clock, come back to CatholicStudentLeadership.com, because at that point, we will release the results. So 8 o'clock, we will release the results. So we'll see you back here after this game. So here's what's going to happen next. We're going to play the game. We have a whole bunch of announcements after the game, and then we're going to give out the pizza winner based upon the game, and then we'll come back at 8 o'clock to release the results. So let's play the game. Let's see who wins the pizza. We turn it over to our amazing leaders and our exec members, Mylin, Jeanette, and Chris. Take it away.
Okay, cool. Who's ready to win some pizza? I wish I could play, honestly, but I always know the answer. I always know the answers in advance, so I can never play. Hosting's the next best thing. All right, let's get right to it. We're going to read out the first question here. And I believe Jeanette's going to keep up with who the winner is. So, yeah, the winner is the first person to put the correct answer in. And the answer should have correct spelling. It should be specific. But it also has to be the first answer. Jeanette's going to find the first answer and put your name on a wheel. And then the wheel will be explained later, but it's elimination style. So let's get to it. First question. How long is the student trustee term? I.e., how long do they hold their position? So we're looking for a unit of time here. Let's see some of these comments. Who's got it first? Let's see. Ooh, this is an easy one, I guess, especially if you've been paying attention. Wow, that's a lot of comments right away. Let's see.
Oh my God,
and
I can't keep up.
They're all the same. Let's see. Let's see the first one.
Oh.
The first answer is... Oh, it is Dominique. Dominique Austria. One of the candidates.
Oh,
so yeah, the answer, everyone got it. Mostly everyone got it. The answer is 2 years. I think I can show that here. Yep, 2 years. So you're elected at the end of grade 10, and you start your term at the beginning of grade 11. So Kathy's in grade 11, Taylor's in grade 12, the incoming will be in grade 10, and that way it repeats. So yeah, 2 years. Good job, everyone. Next question, Mylin, you want to read this one?
Yes, sir. So question number 2, when is the first day of summer 2020? So we're looking for a specific date this year when summer starts.
Well, I actually don't know this. I'm not good with calendar days.
When I found out the answer,
I'm not
I
good
was
with
pretty
calendar days.
shocked that, oh, sorry.
I always think summer's a lot later than it usually is.
Oh, wow. There's a lot of answers.
Oh, you guys are so close.
Oh, I actually don't know the answer. So I have no clue if any of you are right. We're looking at the end of June here.
I think Kyla.
Yeah, I think Kyla got the answer.
Kyla's very good at this game. I've noticed from her previous meetings. Let's see. Mikey in the chat, summer has been canceled. That is true. So technically, he might be the winner of this, but We'll go with the answer that's next, but that's a very good point, Mikey. Thank you for reminding us that summer is canceled. Stay home, folks. Okay, are we ready to see the answer? Do we know who was first? Let's see the answer. June 20th, 2020. Do we know who was first?
Yes.
For June 20th. It was Kyla? Okay, congrats, Kyla. So your name will be on the wheel. Okay, next question here. Let's see it. Question number 3. Who discovered gravity? Now, I think I know this one. Mylan, do you know this one?
I'm trying to think. I have a name in mind, but
what about you, Jeanette?
I know. Oh, I
It
think
got to be first name and last name. First and last name.
Spell it correctly too, though. Make sure you get that right.
Oh yeah, I have no clue what the spelling is. If I do know who the person is.
Oh.
A lot of
Lego
Isaac
Boy?
Newton. Oh, someone put Sir Isaac Newton.
Oh,
that's
wow.
a good catch there. Shri says, I can't type fast. Me neither, Shri. My fingers are too big for the keyboard. Kyla says, technically it was never discovered, just elaborated on. Good point there. Who wrote these questions? I bet it was Mike. I bet it was Mike. MK says, y'all lost me with this question. Well, make sure you find yourself again on the next question. We're competing for pizza here. Do we know where the pizza's from? I don't know. Mike doesn't tell me much. Yeah.
I think Kyla got it from Domino's Pizza before. Did you get it from Domino's, Kyla? I think I saw it.
Domino's, wow. Yeah, Domino's is pretty inexpensive. Okay, let's see the answer. Sir Isaac Newton. Who was the first person to put the Sir in there? And 2 A's, 1 S. Let's see. Do you see them, Jeanette? Or my
I thought I was found the person who didn't put Sir, but now I have to look again who put Sir.
I think
Benson Menezes.
Yeah. I think, sorry if we're butchering that, Benson, but
Benson?
I think Benson's our winner. Benson M. Congrats, Benson. Okay. Next question. Question number 4. Mylin, take it away.
So, factor.
Yeah, I'm not going to
X to the power of 2 minus 9.
Yeah, that little arrow is to the power of. So, let's see. Mr. Kakamo, unfortunately, you are paying for the pizza. Thank you for your contribution. Mr. Kakamo there providing pizza. I got no clue what the answers to this is. It's a relatively simple. I think this is grade 9 stuff.
No, this is not grade 9 stuff.
Is it not?
I had to learn it online.
Oh, you have to learn it? Yeah, I couldn't learn it in class. I wouldn't imagine learning it online.
I don't even know how.
Let's see. I see some brackets here. I see answers without brackets. I see negatives and positives.
Make sure you put your brackets in.
Justin says, what's math? Yeah. What is
Witchcraft?
math? Witchcraft, yeah. Okay, take a look at the answer. The answer is x plus 3, x minus... Oh, difference of squares. Yeah, I remember that. Difference of squares. I don't remember how to do it, but I remember the name of it. Difference of squares. Do we see who the first person was to get
Jason?
I see that it's Jason.
Now, do the positives and negatives, do they matter in what order they go? I think they do. I'm not sure. Do they not? They probably don't. Okay, congrats, Jason. Let's see the next question here. Question number 5. A clerk in a butcher shop is 5 feet 10 inches tall. What does he weigh? Something to ponder on. Something to ponder. Get into your thinking poses. I like to scratch my. I got a little chin hair here. What does he weigh? Now this sounds like a volume question to me. Volume.
More math.
Mass. Yeah, mass could. Yeah, there might be a mass formula you have to use.
Well, there's a lot of
None of these answers are related to math, so the question didn't fly over everyone's head. That's good. It really took me a second to figure out the answer too, but all right, let's see the answer here. He's a butcher, so he weighs meat. Wow. Funny story. I had a friend who worked in a butcher shop in Scarborough for a little bit, and he weighed exotic meats. I'm not going to go into detail on what exotic meats are, but exotic meats. Do we know who the first person was? Do we have?
Cherise.
It was Cherise?
Yeah.
Cherise, you can type fast. Congrats. And guys, if you want some great cheesecake, Cherise's sister makes amazing cheesecake. I haven't had it personally, but I'm really contemplating ordering some. So that's the cheesecake plug. Cherise Benag's sister. Okay, next question. Question number 6. Mylin, take it away.
Yes. How many Great Lakes are there? This is a good question.
This is a good
I
question.
always heard it was home. It stands for something.
Yeah, there is a very easy way to remember it. I think you just put the answer up. That's okay. People got it before you put your hand up there. So let's see what it is. We should have asked what the names are. There's 5 of them. Homes. Huron, Ontario, Michigan, Erie, Superior. Okay, so that was question number 6. Who do we have here?
I think Kim.
Kim Nguyen? Kim Nguyen, Romero student. Congrats, Kim. So we're at, what's this now? Question number 7. Does one of you, Mylin or Juliet, want to text Mike or Kathy or Taylor and tell them we just finished question 6?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just let them know. And then I'll read question number 7 while one of you does that. Question number 7. What is the national animal of Canada? Well, we got a lot of animals, but only one of them is the national animal. The national animal. This animal is
I know this
important.
question.
Yeah, I know this one too. It's one of those things you just find out. I don't think anyone teaches you. Just find out.
Justin said Debbie.
Wow.
Oh boy.
Oh, okay.
I feel like stop that.
Let's see. Let's see some answers here. Moose, goose, beaver with a question mark, beaver without a question mark. Oh, beaver without a question mark. Someone thought the question was about the national anthem.
Oh,
Someone
Canada.
was a very specific North American beaver. Are there any other kinds? Let's see the answer. It is a beaver. Oh, who was the first person to put beaver? Let's see.
I think it was MK.
MK? Yeah. Oh, well, she was quick. People were still congratulating Kim, but she was working. Okay. Question 8. Arlen, take it away. Oh, okay. Wow.
So how many student trustee candidates are there? Let's just pretend that nothing happened.
My finger slipped. I don't know what happened. I think I pressed it too hard. That's okay.
Yes, so how many student trustee candidates are there?
If anyone gets this wrong, it's okay. So the popular answer is 8 and 2. I think people are saying 2. There's 2 student trustees, but how many potential student trustees are? Okay, yeah, the answer was 8 candidates.
For question number 8.
Let's see, who got it first?
Oh, I think Kim got it again.
Wow, Kim. Congrats.
Did you? Okay, Kim Nguyen. Romero. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, that's Rocky. Rocky the Raider. Okay. That might have been our last question. Oh no, I think.
Yeah.
That's our last question. Okay, so congrats to all the winners. Who wants to know who won? If you don't, that's okay. If you don't think you won and you just want to save face, that's cool. But I bet there's some people who want to know who the winner is, and we'll be doing that after some CSLIT updates and announcements from Mr. Mike Consul, who just rejoined us. What's up, Mike?
Good job, Chris. Good job, Mylin. Good job, Jeanette. You can feel free to stay on while we do some announcements. I will share my screen. Okay. So we just have some updates before we give out who the pizza winner is. And Jeanette, while we're doing the updates, if you could get the name wheel ready. All right. So for the updates, is that your screen or my screen, Chris?
I think mine. I'll take mine off.
Okay, you can keep yours on, Chris.
Leave mine on? Well, I took it off already. That's okay.
Okay. Oh, my computer is frozen.
Okay, I'll put mine back on.
Okay.
Okay, I shared my screen, Mike. Oh, your computer's frozen. You can't switch it over. Right. That's okay. Oh.
He's officially frozen.
Whoever's the winner, can I get a slice? Saw that in the comments. Classic crystallized console computer. Classic. Yeah, what a lovely frozen smile. That is a good face to leave off on.
I wish he had the thumbs up, like the classic Mike pose. That one would have been good.
The smile's nice. Better than some other people just get stuck
manually.
Oh.
Oh, I think we're back on.
I think you are.
Hey,
hello,
are we back on?
Mike. Yes.
All right, awesome. So let me just share my screen. It looks like it's shared already. Let me remove that. Okay. One moment. Yep, Chris, can you share yours? Because it's not really working for me right now.
Okay.
Chris is still there.
Okay. I shared my screen.
All right. Perfect. So let's go to the first announcement.
So we're just going to talk about the announcement process again for student trustee, like who our new elected student trustee is. So we're going to count the votes. Please return back to catholicstudentleadership.com to access the link for the 8 p.m. live stream. So once again, 8 p.m., put a timer on, put your alarm clock on. That's when we will announce the elected candidates. So please make sure you come back.
Next slide, Chris.
Okay. Do we want to do the winner now or after the updates?
After all the updates.
Okay.
All right. So as we mentioned before, there are a whole bunch of different opportunities within CSLIT, not just the role of student trustee. So if you want to get involved, you can apply to be part of our executive council. So we are going to be posting the applications this Wednesday on catholicstudentleadership.com. It doesn't matter like what experience level you have, like with CSLIT. If you've been involved with leadership in the past, it's definitely possible to get on if you just have like a really strong passion. There's a whole bunch of different positions. They're listed right there. So there's really something for everyone. I know back in grade 10, I was the director of social justice. And that was like a really rewarding job and like opportunity. And like everyone on exec, like we all become super close. It's a great way to make new friends and really make a difference. So yeah, you have your positions listed there, from like administrative affairs to like social affairs, which is like events and stuff. Social justice that like changes from year to year. Sometimes it's like environmental type stuff, so like the Earth Day event. And then, yeah, like equity, I'm not going to go through all the descriptions. We'll have like the whole entire thing online. But yeah, and like faith, which is what Jeanette does. And then the elementary fairs who run CSLIT, and finally PR. So definitely be on the lookout for those applications on Wednesday. Yeah, it's a phenomenal opportunity.
For sure. Can't wait to see everyone who applies.
Next
Our
slide,
next
please.
announcement.
Next announcement.
Go ahead, Taylor or Kathy.
So there were some announcements regarding like education and school closures today from Minister Stephen Lecce. So please follow the OSTA-ACO Instagram. OSTA-ACO stands for Ontario Student Trustees Association. The ACO is the French part. Unfortunately, I can't remember the French part, but that's the organization Taylor and I belong to, where we network with other student trustees. So we have an Instagram account up and they're taking questions. So if you have a question, definitely drop it in the comments, and they have some like answers posted already. So just look through those and see if your question's already been answered. If not, then definitely drop a question for them and we'll all be happy to help.
All right. Next, Chris. Jeanette, talk about this.
Yeah. So hi everybody. So this is a bi-weekly event called Let's Talk Faith. So it happens every other Wednesday at 4:30, and you can find the link on CatholicStudentLeadership.com. So far, we've already had 3 very successful events, and we are having our upcoming event on May 27th. So this is just another event where we can talk about certain subjects about our faith. We watch videos together, we have guest speakers and have different discussions, and then we also have some personal sharings of our own. So if you would like to keep up with our faith, especially during this time, then please head on to Catholic Student Leadership and you can attend our next meeting on May 27th.
Cool. So that's not this Wednesday, that is next Wednesday. Join us for Let's Talk Faith. Next slide, Chris. Talent show. Let me talk about this one. We had the talent show last Friday. If you missed it, all you got to do is go to CatholicStudentLeadership.com. The live stream talent show is there, and there's also a summary by Mylene, our PR team. So there's a summary video, but what's cool about the summary video is it compiles all the amazing talent, but there's some brand new acts that you did not see in the live show. So if you want to see some of the acts that weren't included, go to CatholicStudentLeadership.com and you can watch the summary video and some of the new acts right there for our amazing talent show. And I think it almost has 5,000 views. So go to CatholicStudentLeadership.com, check out the talent show. Next, Chris. And our last one, Jeanette, you can talk about this one as well.
Yeah. So every Thursday at 4 p.m., we have the Nurturing Our Catholic Community event every Thursday, and this just covers certain topics about our faith as well. So last week we did the rosary together. You could just join us there in this coming Thursday as well.
Amazing. And next slide, Chris. So our next online meeting will be sometime in June. We haven't picked the date yet, but keep in touch on CSLIT Instagram page, Catholic Student Leadership Instagram page, as well as CatholicStudentLeadership.com. Stay tuned. We'll email it out as well for those of you that are part of our email list. We'll let you know when our next meeting is, and it'll be sometime the 3rd week or the 4th week in June. So it'll be posted. Remember, 8 o'clock is when we are going to reconvene here. But before we end, we do want to end in prayer. Next slide, please, Chris. So keep up to date. Follow us on Instagram, and let us close in prayer with our next slide.
Mike, should we do the winner?
And we'll hand it over
or
to our faith
prayer?
ambassador. Kathy Taylor, what do you want to do? Winner first or prayer first?
I think prayer first would be nice.
Okay,
Keep the suspense.
so let's do prayer, and then right after that, we will announce who wins the pizza. Go ahead,
All right,
Jeanette.
let's all sign ourselves in the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. Mother Mary, during this challenging time, we ask that you guide us with the Holy Spirit and give sympathy to those who are suffering. Even though we might not feel like it, let us stand firm in our faith and have hope to see each other again in the future. Help us that we may take what we have learned today and serve God with a compassionate heart. Guide that we will be able to put our faith into action and be better followers of Christ. Now we are going to ask if any of you have intentions. Please leave them in the chat box. And as we are waiting, I would like to ask Mike to start off with any intentions that you have and then go down the line.
Okay, great. So if any of you watching still have intentions, please feel free to type it in the chat box. And my intention is for all the teachers out there. It was just announced that we won't be going back to school not until September. So I know it is a different and challenging time for my fellow colleagues and teachers. So I'd like to just pray for all the teachers, give them love and support with regards to this new way of education. I know we all miss our students, and I know I definitely miss those members of CSLIT and the exec. So just praying for all the educators out there during this time. We pray to the Lord.
Lord, hear our prayer.
I would like to pray for all the seniors who are having a rough time dealing with not having their regular senior year traditions, and also for them to have a good year going into post-secondary in their ventures. We praise the Lord.
Lord, hear our prayer.
Lord, hear our prayer. I would like to pray for those who might be struggling with their faith at this time. I know that we aren't able to go to church or do any of that stuff in public, but it is important that we pray by ourselves as well as our family. We pray to the Lord.
Lord, hear our prayer.
Lord, hear our prayer.
Chris?
Oh, yep, sorry. Lagging there. Yeah, I just want to pray for anyone who's making a big transition or who's supposed to be making a big transition this year. Not just grade 12 students. I know people who are, they have other stuff going on in their lives. That's a big transition to something, into a time that's very weird right now. Their lives are changing and probably could have happened at a better time than now, but it's happened now, so they have to deal with that. So we'll pray for everyone who's going through that. Lord, hear our prayer.
Lord, hear our prayer.
Lord, hear our prayer. I'm sorry. May we also pray for anyone who's struggling with their mental health right now, whether that is stress or anxiety. I know especially right now with social distancing, it's a lot tougher to have those kinds of like human connections, but it's really important to still try to have those to the best ability that we can. So to anyone who may be struggling with like anxiety right now because of like the current situation, that we give them all of our love and support. We pray to the Lord.
Lord, hear our prayer.
Lord, hear our prayer.
I want to pray for all of our high school students and our elementary students. Like, this is not an easy time. I know it's really tough for grade 12s just finding out like we can't go back until September, and by then you're already starting university. And it sucks for all of your lower class like friends like grade 11, 10, 9, because we can't really say bye. So I'm praying for everyone. Lord, hear our prayer.
Lord, hear
our prayer. Thank you to everyone who put their intentions in the chat box. We will all keep those intentions in our hearts, and hopefully we will get there. We pray to the Lord.
Lord.
Now please join me in saying Hail Mary. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou amongst women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now and at the hour of our death. Amen. All saints, pray for us.
Pray for us.
The
Father,
Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
All right, thank you, everybody. This is just a reminder. Come back, 8 o'clock. I'm going to have dinner. We're going to add up the ballots. And 8 o'clock, we'll see you back at CatholicStudentLeadership.com, and we will announce the winner of our student trustee election. Hey, Lord Skiller.
Oh, thank you everyone for being a part of this. This meeting and all of our meetings would not be happening without each and every single person who joins us, who adds to that huge collective spirit of leadership that brings the energy levels up. So thank you. Please stay safe. To everyone watching, especially in these dangerous times. I know things are slowly getting better, but we still have to be careful. So thank you, and thank you all for taking the time today.
Oh, we have to give out the pizza.
Oh yeah.
The comments
all right,
are...
Jeanette, let's give out that pizza right now.
Yep. I'll share my screen. Everybody's asking for the pizza.
Yep. Let's give out the pizza. Let's share your screen, Jeanette. Let's see who gives out the pizza.
No.
Lenzo, thanks for tuning in. Any other teachers out there? Make sure to watch Live with Lenzo. Just gotta follow the Teachers Meet Teachers Instagram account.
You might see your teacher there. You might see
so
your
Live
teacher.
with Lenzo. That's where she interviews a different teacher every week. Lenzo, you should interview Michael Kakamo. He would be a great interview. All right, Jeanette, you sharing your screen? Okay. It should be up. Is it up, Jeanette? Jeanette's screen. Add to stream. Jeanette, my
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, computer's busy right now. So it looks like we can't share your screen because my computer's busy. So here's what we're gonna do. 8 o'clock, come join us. We will give away the pizza at 8 o'clock. We will announce who the winner is for our student trustee at 8 o'clock as well. So people, thanks for joining us. Have dinner as we add up all the ballots, and we will see everyone at 8 o'clock, and we'll give out the pizza at that time. So thanks for joining us, everyone. We'll see you at 8 o'clock. All you got to do is go to CatholicStudentLeadership.com, and we will find out who the winner is come 8 o'clock. Thanks, Kathy. Thanks, Buddha.
Right.
Thanks, Taylor.
So people want to know what's for dinner. What are you eating?
I'm eating a, what is this called? An egg sandwich fajita.
Wow.
Always with the pressing question.
An egg wrap. That's what it is.
Egg wrap.
And there's something crunchy in it. I don't know what it is.
It's called leaves.
Something crunchy? It might be an eggshell. Who made it?
So I heard it's called leaves.
Oh, Summer. Summer, what's the crunchiness in here? It's very crunchy.
Is it an eggshell, Summer?
Maybe.
Did your mom put an eggshell in his food?
Probably.
I wouldn't put it below her.
That is leaves.
Like
No, I think it's tortilla chips.
Oh,
They are?
fancy.
Oh, I
Someone said it's like they're at camp again. Honestly, I agree.
Yeah, this is my camp experience, just watching Mike eat. That's what I do.
Or bringing food.
Yeah.
Or them stealing your food.
As a student trustee, you bring Mike food at camp. That's not a lie.
Yes. That's the main responsibility.
while he goes fishing.
Sometimes he steals your food.
One of the jobs.
Like he'll drink your drinks. You're like, okay.
I don't know if any of you have braided my tail before. I think Butter
No.
had.
No.
No?
Don't put that out there.
No?
I've not done that. I know people who have.
I know someone who
that's
has.
co-op
Been
students do
described.
that, not the
Yeah, no,
just
not
co-op.
me. I wasn't a co-op student long enough.
Summer, Miss Irani says hi to you. All right, people, we have to add up these votes. We got to go.
Yes, we do.
So thanks a lot. We'll see you at 8 o'clock.
All right.
Bye,
See you later,
everyone.
everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Just end.